now it's time for our next panel. These are for your e-commerce dreamers out there. You're in for a treat. We've gathered 3 brilliant minds who've built online empires from scratch. Starting with Kim Lato, who turned her passion for gadgets into Kim Store, one of the Philippines' most trusted tech retailers. As well as Dar Ty-Nilo, who transformed her love for planning into BELLE DE JOUR. And that's a planner that helped countless Filipinas organize their dreams. And we have Miko David, co-founder of David and GOLYAT and president of DMAP. They cracked the code on digital marketing and what actually works. Together, they're sharing the blueprint for e-commerce success, strategies from the founders themselves. Please give them your undivided attention. Again, let us welcome to the stage Miss Kim Lato, Dar Ty-Nilo, and Miko David. How are you all doing today?
Good, good.
Good, good. So again, we have some questions prepared for you, and we'll start with, in your opinion, this is open to anyone. In your opinion, what is the primary problem that you and your company are addressing for SMEs? Maybe we can go down the line.
Ikaw muna, Miko.
Okay, so hi everyone. Good afternoon, or good morning pa technically. So maybe for some context, David and Goliath is a company that does a lot of data analysis. So for many MSMEs or those who are in e-commerce, we provide a lot of insight, context to the numbers on your dashboards. No? That's one. Number 2, we provide a lot of training and guidance to the teams so that their analysis is a little bit more complex when they start doing things. And we found that it's been very helpful for companies to leapfrog, to do more things. No? Yun yung chismis namin. You know?
So with me, there's 2 parts of our business. The first one is what you guys know about the BELLE DE JOUR Power Planner. And the second one is Viviamo Concepts, wherein we actually design different merchandise for brands. So for SMEs, what we do for merchandise is that we help them figure out what kind of merchandise can help grow their business. So these can be in terms of promos or even new items that they can expand into. Number 2, for BDJ, what we do for SMEs is we help them figure out what is their vision and try to translate it on a day-to-day level. So we talk to founders and entrepreneurs, the leads of the company, in terms of how can they get that clarity internally so they can execute and go.
So, good morning everyone. I'm Kim Lato. I'm the founder and CEO of Kim Store. People call me Ninang Kim in social media. So, kung may kailangan kayong gadgets, nandito lang po kami, may booth po kami dyan. So, Kim Store, one of the challenges that we address in SMEs is that whenever you start or you scale a business, usually it's the access to reliable, affordable products. Let me give you an example. I've seen this firsthand sa tagal namin sa industry. Usually, a business owner who wanted to start their digital journey or a business who wanted to expand their operation but lacked that tech infrastructure. Usually, pupunta ng mall, sasabihin yung budget, but it's different right now. What we usually offer, besides our B2C operations online, we already offer B2B solutions. Like for example, we have corporate packages. We also offer reseller programs or affiliate programs kung gusto nyo mag-start ng online selling. And then, it's good na at least we have a PHILSME so that I had a chance to check around, parang nandito na lahat ng mga corporate solutions na kailangan ng isang negosyante.
Definitely. Wow, that's very well-rounded. Thank you so much. Moving on, based on customer experiences and feedback, how effective have your solutions been so far? Open to anyone?
Ako naman. So, sa Kim Store, I think we have received overwhelmingly positive feedback. I think my customers shared to us that it's easy and very convenient to talk to the Kim Store team. Especially, we're not just offering price list, like for example, in our B2C operation, mag-PPM sa amin sa Facebook, HM po ito. But in our B2B solutions, we offer partnership. We're not only offering price quotations, but we're offering reliable service. Like for example, we wanted to know, are you starting your business? Are you scaling your business? So that we could provide the right solutions for you.
I'd like to ask this question for Miko or Dar to answer. So maybe if you could share with us a major ask that you came across that you found particularly challenging, and if you could share how you overcame that.
Maybe for some context, no, we do a lot of data analysis. Pero kasi not all of the things that customers ask from us exist in life. As in, it doesn't exist, no? So for us, what we normally do is that we try to say, okay, this is their objective, what are the options, and then we try to see whether we can build it, no? So if you take a look at the services and products that we have in the company, I would tell you na from a year or every year, no, 80% of the solutions that we have did not exist a year before or prior. And it's because of the specific customer needs. So usually ang tanong sa amin, Miko, may ganyan ba kayo? Do you have this? So I usually tell them, no, but give me 2 weeks, I can think of something. Parang ganon. And magugulat ka if you start adding them up, parang, oh, meron na kaming solution for someone in retail, for someone ng real estate, someone in food, no? And marami kaming nabubuong ganong product. So I guess it's, of course, it's a challenge to know what customers need, di ba? Or to anticipate what they might need. So kunyari, after we build some products or solutions, alam mo, naalala ko last month or a few months ago, ito yung problema nila. And yung problem yun does not go away, ha? So, we would work on it and then babalik kami, hey, would this be interesting for you? And then parang, uy, paano nyo ginawa yan, di ba? And it's just because we were always in close touch. We asked them ano yung problem or parang, or we would just keep dreaming na hassle talaga to and we have to think of a way to solve it. Ayun.
Before we ask you to answer, isn't that interesting, ladies and gentlemen? Ang bilis ng utak ng entrepreneur. In 2 weeks, you were able to find a solution.
Well, solution pero feasible ba o hindi, we'll check, no? But I think ano yan parang you think about the different nuances, anong gaps, realistic ba to o hindi. Then we really just try to show it. Look, ito yung choices mo in life. But yeah, I think even with what si Ginger presented kanina, I agree. That's completely correct. And real-world experience will play a part. You really have to apply it from what you learn. Totoo talaga yun, you know.
Thank you so much. Yes?
So for us, so in terms of strategic merchandising, so what we do is we really focus on a problem. So one of the projects that we did is that related siya to a milk brand. So syempre, 'di ba, with milk, you're not allowed to advertise, right? Because breast milk is best for babies. So what we did is we actually create corner in the PDS clinic where they are and design products, toys, wherein kids and parents can interact while waiting in the doctor's office. So you kind of look at, di ba, with the problem or challenges na ino-offer ng, yung challenge ng client, di ba? And then you try to figure out what are the opportunities wherein you can communicate and create some kind of interaction to achieve the business objective.
Thank you. So again, when you reach out to experts, they're able to come up with innovative ideas such as that. I wouldn't have come up with that myself. Our next question. Are there any other challenges you help solve that we haven't touched on yet that you'd like to share?
So siguro we sell data, right? But I think the larger picture kasi we sell a strategy. And yung strategy, you have to look at the different components, no? So sometimes the problem can be solved by marketing. Sometimes it's technology that we'll use to solve the problem. Sometimes it's people, which is the problem. And when I say, di naman fire someone, no? But do you train someone? What type of onboarding or motivation do they have to enable? Or is it like expanding the partnerships that you have? No? So I think when you look at it in that manner, dumadami yung choices mo, you know. And I think with the different vendors who are here, no, they have a solution, but they also have other value adds that really help you solve the problem you need to solve. You know. So yun lang, the larger picture.
So with us, so we started Belle de Jour, so 20 years ago. So one of the key things that we always talk about is if you have challenges in bringing out your commitment and your follow-through, part of the reason is maybe you're not yet clear. So we have this framework that we use, the 3 C's, which is clarity, conviction, then you get commitment. So those are one of the things, is a lot of people here are entrepreneurs. When you're losing your motivation, sometimes it's just the lack of clarity. So sometimes we have to go back within ourselves to be able to decide or choose what are the options in front of us and figure out what are the external opportunities na pwedeng patulan.
Okay, I think one of the less talked challenges for SMEs is when they have this early success. So I think more of, like for example, for Kim's store, how do you provide tailored solutions or tailored packages for different stages of SMEs? So here in Kim's store, besides selling tech, we've customized, we've focused on B2B. Before, it's just B2C, but right now, kasi we saw how important it is na mag-provide ng tamang technology, lalo na it's really a fast-paced digital economy. Like for example, someone in the traditional retail wanted to go online. So what we can do, since our expertise is e-commerce, like they wanted to set up a live room. So we have to understand what's their budget, and at the same time, is this for brand awareness or for commercial selling? So besides selling tech pala, you also have to understand what your customers wanted to do with this, for example, marketing solutions. Like for example, the live selling. Or like for example, you have a small warehouse and you wanted to transition to a bigger warehouse. So rather than pulling in so many suppliers, you could just gather to one supplier, check your CCTVs, check your barcode printers, if you wanted to upgrade your systems or your computers towards your staff. So I think more on hand-holding SMEs in terms of their stages of their growth in their businesses.
Thank you. Considering how long all of you three have been in business, I think it would be really interesting to know what keeps you motivated to stay in business, and if you care to share what got you started in the first place. Starting with Sir Miko.
I think Dar said it, no? Clarity. Just because if you're clear about what you want to happen, you're doing something to get closer. And then as you get closer, you're getting closer to the next stage. Para siyang nag-hiking ka. You're heading to a destination, then feeling mo lumalapit ka na, you know. And even if it's a bit tough or there's some new obstacles, okay, let's get through it kasi I'm still focused where I want to go. Personally, our company's been around for 8 years. And I've been working for, 20 years? And the aha moment happened when I was working in my corporate job. Actually, nang time na yon, I was interviewing business owners. And, you know, parang they went from rags to riches or like parang they were able to scale up their business. And I was thinking, ano bang ginagawa ko dito? Parang I should... And I realized there was a gap in the market. There was some gap in data, in analysis, in information. So, after 9 months sa job, I went to my boss and said, magre-resign na ako. Miko, what you're gonna do? I'll sell data to you guys. Ganon. And that's what happened. Eventually, that corporate client, 8 years ko na siyang kliyente ngayon. And everyone in their group, ginawa na namin siyang kliyente, you know. And it has since expanded to 82 different clients of just selling them data. So that's how it happened. It was organic, but parang the steps that we took were deliberate because we were clear about where we wanted to go. Honestly, your direction or objective can change, di ba? Parang dito ako, but as you get closer, parang, ito pala, mas ganun. And then you start to pivot and change. And from there, magugulat ka na lang na ito na pala lahat ng ginagawa mo, you know. So, ayun, yun ang nangyari sa akin.
I think that's a message for anyone working right now. Just put a calendar 9 months. Sir Miko got the message, and maybe in 9 months kayo rin makuha nyo yung business ID ninyo to take that leap. Yes, moving on.
So for me, I think there's a lot of adaptability that is required for an entrepreneur and anyone actually who wants to survive at this age. So how I started, it was actually from very quick story as like I failed in my board exams na CPA. I was doing my corporate job, a multinational at the same time. I didn't get regularized. And I felt like really bad. Like parang I was down. Tapos I said, no, this cannot be my life. And I said, I'm gonna rewrite my story. So I wrote it down in a planner and an Excel sheet. And I created a new plan. Of course, I looked for another job. I got another job. And I started a business at the same time. Kasi I want to manage the risk. And nagulat ako, there was early success, as you said. There was early success. But every year after that, it was a pivot and a pivot. Like, it looks like it's the same because we still sell planners. But there were so many changes for each year. So, nadaan namin yung beauty box subscription. For 3 years, we were doing so many events. We were doing an event every month for certain times of the year. Then we ventured into summits, online workshop, coaching. And one of the things that we don't talk about so much publicly because that's the face, the B2C, as the BDJ is the face, so is really the merchandise wherein we create merchandise for different clients. And it was during the pandemic wherein we realized it was something worthwhile to focus in versus as an aside. So that's why it was really a shift. So I think the adaptability is really required. And going back na, I think for me, what keeps me motivated is number one, I really like creating different or designing different products. Meaning, kung meron akong investor and kung merong investor here that would just want to invest, we'll design different kinds of merchandise that will help people. So with the planners, with BDJ, and the merch that we make with BDJ, it's really to help people find clarity in their lives and make a difference and dream bigger. With the merchandise that we design for clients, we want to make sure that it's merchandise that people will actually use and not throw away. So, doon, yun yung what grounds me, and I get excited for something like that. So, yeah.
Miss Dan, that was really exciting. I love how on brand your story was, that you wrote everything down. I'm actually a big fan of BELLE DE JOUR, so I look forward to that every year as well. So far, we're learning that we have to be open to opportunities and maybe start by writing down your ideas.
Okay, so by November 2025, Kim Store is turning 19 years. And then, I've been in the business for almost 2 decades. So, I started this business when I was in college pa, 2006. It was more of a passion project. Just imagine that. Selling gadgets online, back then, you don't even know the term e-commerce. Pag tinatanong ako ng mga college friends ko, saan ka na nag-work? That was way back 2006. I'm an entrepreneur I'm an online seller. But my friends, okay, we'll support your business. We'll support your online business. So that was those times before. But what makes me motivated every single time is the passion and love for the craft. I've been an e-commerce advocate for the longest time. You know what? When I was starting a business, bago pa mag-Shopee at Lazada, it was easier to bago pa nag-start ako sa Multiply. Sino dito ang nakaabot pa ng Multiply? Hi! So, back then, it was even harder to convince people to buy online rather than selling this branded camera. Imagine nyo yun, but this time around, a lot of shifts already. There's marketplaces, there's live selling, anywhere you can already buy your electronics or whatever stuff you have. So my point is, it's very important to really pour your passion, your love to what you do. It's not all the time na lagi kang all the high, all the wins. Laging may challenges and hurdles. For me, it's the patience and the resilience that you will build as an entrepreneur. And more so, that dedication and I would say that unwavering commitment. Para kang, for me, I've started the business when I was 18. 18 years old na siya ngayon, para kang may anak. So imagine that commitment and dedication to your business. And more so, I think it's having fun on what you're doing also. Mahal mo siya, nag-e-enjoy ka, but more so, you're really learning and you're having fun. What keeps me going, honestly, it's the support of the family, the friends, customers turn to friends, and suppliers turns to business partners. So ang dami kong natututunan, and I feel like more of building this Kim Store empire, it's more of the Kim Store shared journey to everyone.
Miss Kim, follow-up question lang po. So, in my opinion, a big element that comes into e-commerce or live selling is building that connection with your audience. Do you have any tips on how to do that, how to build trust, and how to build that connection?
Okay. One thing is that right now, if people in e-commerce, usually nung pumasok yung marketplaces like Lazada, Shopee, people are buying because of subsidies. But right now, when TikTok came in, na-disrupt. So people love to buy because of influencers. People love to buy because they want to be entertained. So just imagine the disruption again. So one thing I can share, if you're a brand owner, I know you're behind the scene, but right now I would recommend you'll be not camera shy in front of the camera na. Like for example, in TikTok, usually I go live during double-digit sales or payday sale as the brand owner. And it's very important, guys. When I had this big launch last year with iPhone 16, with another live influencer, imagine guys, yung background namin, puro cellphone lang, and people were watching, people were buying, because people saw the authenticity. And then people love to be entertained. So it's more of transparency, authenticity as a brand. You build your brand, not like one time yayaman ka or sisikat ka. It's not the way it used to be. You have to, I think you have to carve your own path, depende kung paano makikilala yung brand mo. Like for me, I'm an e-commerce advocate, forever gadget girl. So doon ako nakilala.
I think this is interesting for people who are new to e-commerce as well. When you're starting out, how frequent would you recommend that you go live to build your brand's reputation?
Okay. So for example, when you're just starting out your business, I think usually DIY yan eh. For example, you're gonna set your camera, set the lighting and all, and this just go talk in live. Pag may oras ka, humarap ka sa camera, humarap ka sa cellphone, just go live, talk to your customers. At times, for example, I'm in the e-commerce, in the tech space, so it's easy to sell, come to think of it, any phones or any cameras. But siguro ang itatanong nyo, paano kung nasa manufacturing ako? Paano kung mas mahirap ibenta? Usually, one size doesn't fit all. You always have to try. Either you need to do, let's say brand awareness for your product, and then i-boost mo siya na, okay, this manufacturing company is digital savvy. At least meron kang recall sa mga consumers mo na you're not on the traditional way of doing business. You could do free quotation online, or you can use your TikTok as a way to interact to your customers.
Thank you so much. So we'd also love to hear if you have any exclusive promotions that you'd like to share with the Phil SME community, and if you could let us know how our attendees can get in touch with you.
Sagutin ko muna yung second part. No? You can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Miko David. And then that's the best place to catch me kasi hindi naman ako nalulunod doon ng mga emails. No? But I think with regard to special promotions, I think my other hat might be more useful. I'm the president of the Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines. So sa DMAP, we organize a lot of these different learning sessions, different networking sessions. So if you want to learn from the experts, and we really try to organize all these things. So, like kunyari, last week, we flew the regional head from Adobe to come and talk about generative AI and how it works for small businesses. End of the month, we have like a session that was organized for HR para you can build resilient teams no, in your marketing teams, tipong ganon. So, parang three times a month meron kaming nilalabas. And we have already like insights and research studies in our Viber group. So we released insights on e-commerce, spending habits of Filipinos, care of GCash, insights on creativity. Meron ba kaming naka-line up from Kantar, Nielsen, BCG, and multiple other ano. And kumbaga if you're an individual member, it's 5,000 pesos. So lahat ng mga access na yun, you get it. And if you're a business, then may konting ano siya, 12,000 pesos, tipong ganun. But yun, DMAP, Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines, yun yung sobrang astig na ano, na I think I can really promote and push for everyone. Yun.
Sasali na ako after. So sa akin, so what BDJ, you guys can follow our brand at I Love BDJ. For our B2B brand, it's called Viviamo Concepts. If you want to follow me personally, Dar Ty-Nilo in Instagram. I do have a podcast that I launched with Dries Fernandez Ruiz of Rags to Riches. We also have a new group, like super fresh pa. It's called Big Dreams Journey. Kasi what we want to be able to encourage amongst Filipinos is really how do you dream bigger. Kasi one of our advocacies ever since the beginning was that to help address the lack na parang natatakot tayo mangarap kasi natatakot tayo umasa and natatakot tayo masaktan. So, how do we do this together, encourage each other, and find ways on how to make our dreams a reality?
Okay, guys, may corporate booth kami doon, no? Baka you could drop by. We're a supporter of PhilSME for the longest time. Friend ko si Trix. So, freebies or corporate promotions, we have something for you. So, please drop by in our corporate booth. And then, please follow our community. We have 3.5 million followers in Facebook. Check nyo lang, Kim Store Official, Kim Store PH, and then we're also in TikTok. Check nyo yung live namin para at least you can also learn how to do the live selling. Diba? And follow my page, Kim Lato or LinkedIn. Check nyo na lang kung may matututunan kayo.
Awesome. So, yes, we'll be asking you one more question before we let you go. And before we ask that question, I'd like to let the audience know that we're now opening the floor for any Q&As that you might have for us. Just kindly let our team know if you have anything you'd like to ask our panel. And now going back to our panel, what's something that you're looking forward to, if you were a newbie here, an attendee here, what's something that you look forward to doing, especially today or tomorrow?
I can start. Sige, palagi ako yung gitna. So, sa akin, I think what I would look forward to is really meeting new people. So, I think one of the critical things that I undervalued, especially when I was starting out, and medyo same time kami nag-start, 2006, is really talking to different people because you don't necessarily know how you guys can potentially collaborate. So it's really just having that openness. Pero hindi mo naman like to talk and then bibigay mo lahat ng business ideas mo. But it's really just about connecting and seeing if there's a way that you can help each other.
So again, just a reminder, we have our microphone to the side if you have a question for us. Yes?
So, Philippine SME has been quite a long time na. So, parang sobrang solid ng network, sobrang solid ng mga corporate offerings nila. So, as an entrepreneur, you really learn a lot. And then, ako, something to look forward is also meeting my customers in my booth or meeting same people or new faces in this event.
Thank you.
Actually, what I like about expos or events no, is that it's a great intelligence gathering opportunity. and I just say this because you get to get information about the products out there. But when you talk to the people sa booths, you can ask them insight about the sector, the service, anong nakikita nilang trends, because they're really doing this every day. So for example, if I were to go to the booth of si Kim, di ba? Parang, okay, these are the products, but you can say, uy, tingin nyo, what do you think is, if we're gonna grow, anong okay na mga solution sets? And they can share you na, oh, gumagalaw ang live streaming. Ito, mabenta tong mga cameras because ito habits ng mga tao ngayon, parang ganun. So, every time I go to a trade expo, I really ask the vendors kasi they say, uy, malakas kami sa ganitong sector. Uy, ito, usually customers namin ganito. And these things you would not know unless you had a face-to-face opportunity to really engage with them. So don't look at it like, anong product nandun? Find the product, understand it, and learn some insights from them kasi that will really help you, I guess, enrich your own operations. Yun.
Thank you so much. And so, without any further ado, we just want to say a final thanks to our panel before we let them go. Yes, sorry. We have one question from the lady up front.
Hi, I'm Pia. Since this is about e-commerce, so it's more on digital, have you been scammed or hacked? And how do you prevent that? Or how do you deal with it? Scammed or hacked?
Sa amin, we haven't been hacked, but we've been there was a bot, I think, for a while. I think it was in 2022 or 2023, I forgot. Wherein naglagay sila ng bot sa Shopify. Nag-create ng cash sales. Diba yung cash on delivery sales? So the e-commerce market here in the Philippines started, diba dati may trust issue sa e-commerce? So biglang sobrang lakas ng COD. That became 50%, 80%. So it's depends on the risk appetite of the e-commerce brand. But ayun, naglagay sila ng bot. So what it does is, it didn't scam us na nawalan kami ng pera, but it affected our data and our numbers. So it affected like how much should we spend in terms of ads kung ganito yung return. Pero what if you cannot rely on the return of the sales? So it affected us in that way. So that's why I believe in making sure also that the data that you're basing your decisions on should really be medyo solid. So ngayon, depends on kung ano yung platform, you have to watch out for all these possible bots. Kasi sa akin safe na yun eh. Hindi ako nawalan ng pera, hindi na-hack yung customers ko, hindi ganun. But it still affected us in some way. And you really have to monitor e-commerce, especially peak season. It's a daily thing that you track. It's not end of month, end of week. It's every day.
So, sa amin naman, we have a Facebook page. So, ang nangyayari, kinokopy yung exact page namin. The profile pic and then the banner. So what happens, pag nalalaman namin yon, customers pa nga minsan nag-i-inform sa amin eh, we immediately provide an advisory. We are not affiliated with this person and then we report to Facebook. What's important is that, for example, it's Kim Store, meron kaming IPO. So yung IPO na yun, yung IP, trademark, registered sa'yo, you can just send it to Facebook and then from there, I think ita-terminate niya mismo yung page. Another thing is, like yung sinabi ni Dar, it's more on the COD. Imagine, nag-accelerate yung online selling after the pandemic. Sorry, but I think yung mga riders also na mga couriers, parang medyo, for some reason, parang yung item daw, we sold phones, tapos parang sabon yung laman. So, you really have to have a protocol. In our end, what happens in our warehouse, meron kami mga CCTV. As in, we record it like 60 days para sure kami na, for example, let's say, when these customers try to file a claim na sabon yung nakuha nila na laman doon sa item nila, what we show is, pinapakita namin doon sa marketplace or doon sa seller center na, hey, phone talaga ang laban, hindi siya sabon. So, ganun parang right now kasi parang pag nakikita ng mga consumers or sabihin natin ng kahit sino na business is booming, e-commerce is booming, sometimes some people are quite creative in doing scamming. So you have to be careful. And also, for example, if you have a website, I would recommend na ikaw yung master admin ng website. For example, if you have, let's say, merchandisers or online merchandiser uploading website, let's say, mga products, make sure admin lang siya. So that, for example, wag naman mangyari na ma-hack, sana hindi siya ma-hack, at least naka-admin siya. He cannot change the passwords.
Siguro dagdag ko lang kasi we've had data analysis cases for crisis, fraud, and cybercrime. So ito yung tip. Yung when Dar said na you report it to Facebook, actually Facebook, Google, Meta, and other platforms actually have community guidelines. So search na yun kasi that has very, very specific items. No? Number two, the cybercrime division of PNP actually has very, very CICC, yan. That specific department within DICT is also very, very active. So if you report that, that actually gets through. The third thing then is that yung taking measure of the extent of the issue. So for example, pag may scam na nangyari, you don't know na akala mo ito lang, yung pala marami pang iba. So for me, I would do an active sweep of everything. And then from there, make sure that you communicate to the public, di ba? Para, kasi baka dito mo siya ni-report or dyan mo siya nilagay, and then yung pala marami pang iba pang items, no? So of course, there's still the part of safeguarding your own information and to just double-check paano siya nangyari. But yun, take a look at those, parang search nyo yun, parang community guidelines and then fraud. Actually, si Meta has a very extensive relationship with the Philippines, specifically for fraud. So yun.
Thank you, Sir Miko. We have time for one more question.
Hi, good morning. I'm Dandy. I'm a foodpreneur. So not necessarily e-commerce, but I'd like to find out what your initial capitalization journey was since especially 2006. So I don't think it was necessarily very, well, I guess except for Kim, no, na very e-commerce talaga. So what did you do bootstrapping as was discussed by Ginger earlier, or did you go straight to financing and loans? So initial capitalization.
I can start. I started with 4,000 pesos. So the model that I did was, the business model that I started with is actually, diba, we produced the BELLE de Jour Power Planner. You can produce a physical product with 4,000 pesos. But we did parang a business model wherein we charge our coupon, our advertisers money. So they finance the production. Because I didn't have money. I just graduated from college. So, yun. I started with that. And then I rolled the money. So since, yun nga, I was trained as an accountant, I know how to use money. So I played around with the money. I rolled it over. Yeah. So you can play. With food, diba? I also had a food business. Mga sideline. But the thing with food, you can actually run it with negative capital, right? Meaning, kasi pwede kang mag-delay with your suppliers, so you get it in advance, then you make something, you sell it, then you get the money, then that's the time you pay back your suppliers. But you just need to be very careful and meticulous with the math, na hindi ka pwedeng magkamali. And incorporate taxes, as Ginger said earlier, because I think one of the number one things entrepreneurs fail in terms of costing is they don't plan for taxes. They just assume that that's why taxes becomes an expense instead of something that we work around with, because people don't know or don't want to learn. And how can I make it work that I'm profitable and at the same time pay my taxes properly?
Is there anything we'd like to add to that?
I'm in the services sector. So, wala, I bootstrapped it actually. I borrowed the money from my mom. Pero, pinambayad ko sa partner ko. Kasi I needed him to leave his job para I can get the best person with me on the team, no? But I did that because our contracts can take 6 months. I mean, when I say 6 months, you talk to the client, papag-isipan nila, then finally they sign the contract, then you execute, then you collect, no? So I knew I needed that runway. And then, honestly, never na akong humirang ng pera after kasi naikot ko na yung pera afterwards. I do have a coffee shop, though, you know, so, but the capitalization is really just for what you really need there, you know, to really start it. And as the business grows, then you start expanding out the equipment as needed, you know. That's my experience.
Ms. Kim?
On my end, I started capitalization 20,000. So, alam mo yung mga ipon mo during your birthdays, yung red envelope. So, inipon ko lang siya. But more of nung time na yun kasi it's more of a buy and sell concept for electronics. I think for the first 2 years, 3 years, I never had physical stocks. So, every time may customers, that's the time I buy. So that my capital won't deplete kapag wrong ang inventory. When the time na parang, for example, let's say, may times na parang, I think, iniipon ko pa lahat ng order so that I could get cheaper rate to my suppliers. So, tapos sabay-sabay ko siyang i-deliver. And right now naman, for me, I think businesses want your business. So, just like in food, right now, if you have good credit line or good relationship with your partners or your suppliers, they could easily give you at least a week credit. Mabilis na yun para umikot. But more so, sa akin naman, more of 100% bootstrap. It's more of, ang belief ko is more on slow, steady, sustainable scale.
Thank you to our audience for those very insightful questions and insightful answers from our panel. So once again, thank you, Ms. Kim, Ms. Dar, and Sir Miko. We'll see you again later.